the Cozy Joe Show. Today we are going to talk about the basic circle. This is a must-learn skill for every beginner crocheter, and it's super easy. Let's see. I think I put working in the round under intermediate. I was saving the basic beginner crocheter for just the basic stitches, and then pattern stitches and working in the round for intermediate. Okay, got that out of the way. So go ahead and put a loop on your hook. And how this works, and you can use any of the basic crochet stitches with this: single crochet, half double, double, treble, triple. You can do it with any of them, but just for illustration and easiness today, I'm going to use a double crochet. So I'm going to chain, let's see here, chain 4. Now, why 4? Because we're going to work our stitches into this first chain, and the remaining 3 chains are going to act as double crochet. Now, your pattern will tell you whether or not that first chain will count as a stitch. I always like to count it as a stitch. It just makes it easier, because when you get to the end of it, what's going to happen is you're going to put a stitch in there anyway, and you're going to end up with too many stitches on your circle. So how this works, we're going to put 8 double crochet in that first stitch. Now, why didn't I draw up a loop and make like the magic adjustable circle? It's not going to work with this. That always leaves a circle in the middle. I don't want a circle in the middle. I want it to be solid. So that's the reason why you start it that way. So I'm going to do my 8 double, and I'll come back when I'm done with that. So I did 7 doubles, because remember that first chain 3 counts as a stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch in the top. Be careful that you make sure it's the top of the chain and not second double crochet. Okay, so that's what we have. So you start with your basic just for illustration's sake, we'll go ahead and use the symbol. Okay, so you have your 8 doubles, and if you notice, it starts curling up a little bit. So what do we do to prevent that? So the next round is going to have 2 doubles, and each of those doubles we just did. Why? You're putting a double the amount of stitches on there in order for your circle to lay flat. That's what your battle is going to be the whole time, is trying to make sure this circle lays flat. Alright, so let's go ahead and we're going to chain 3, and I'm going to put a double crochet right back in that same space where I made that chain. So there's 2 stitches in that same stitch. Let's do the next. So I'm going into this next double, and I'm just going to put 2 more in there. I'm going to put 2 doubles, or whatever stitch you're working in each stitch all the way around. Okay, so we'll have 16 stitches at the end of this round. So that's what we have at the end of round 2. Now what do we do? So from here on out, the rounds are going to grow exponentially. And what do I mean by that? So the next round is going to be 2 stitches and then 1. Now it's not a V-stitch, I'm just writing it like that for illustrative purposes, so you can see that there's 2 stitches going into 1 stitch. That's our pattern repeat for round 3. Round 4 is going to be 2 stitches in the first stitch and then 2 single stitches. See how that's working? 2 stitches and then 1, 2, 3. 2 stitches and then 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it grows all the way around. Now why do we have 2 stitches and 1 stitch? That helps it to lay flat and create the circle. So let's start with round 3. So I chained 3 and I'm going to put a double right back into that same spot. There's our 2 stitches. And then what's next? 1 stitch. That's right. See, you're learning. Now why can't we just put 2 stitches all the way in each stitch all the way around? Because then it'd be too many stitches and it still wouldn't lay flat. So the next one has 2 stitches. And then 1. So that's what you're going to do all the way around. 2, 1, 2, 1. And I'll come back when I'm finished. So that's what I have at the end of round 3. That was 2 stitches and then 1 stitch. Now let me tell you a big secret. If you're only doing circles and it's not going to be part of a pattern that has additional stitches and or gauge, do whatever you have to do to get that circle to lay flat. If I'm only making coasters and I have another round to go and it's wanting to curl up, guess what? I'm adding 2 stitches in 1 stitch somewhere to get it to lay flat. I give you permission, it's okay. Alright? Now, what do we do with round 4? I know you know. Let's chain 3. First thing we do is put a stitch right back into that same stitch. Alright, so we're starting with 2 stitches. Now what? We did 1 on the last round. Now we're going to put 1 stitch in 2 stitches. Remember? Remember our little chart here? Alright, so we're going to go 1, 2, okay, let's do that again. 2 stitches in the next stitch. And then 1, 2. See how that works? And there's the end of round, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, the end of round 4. So what happens if I don't add those 2 stitches in 1 stitch? Watch any of my koozie videos and you'll see what happens when you only do 1 stitch per stitch. It causes it to curl up like that and make a cupping effect. That's the whole thing that makes those koozies work. But that's how you do the basic circle and how it increases incrementally. Just practice that. I can't tell you how many circles I've made this week. There are so many uses that you can have with that circle, and it's the basis of a lot of patterns. So good luck with your practicing, and just keep doing that. Practice it with single crochet, doubles, triples, and you'll master it in no time.